Hey everyone, it's Skylar. Welcome back to my channel. And oh, how you all doing today? I feel bleh, but I'm okay. Um, I'm gonna do a video that was meant to have been done on Friday, but I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I'm gonna do a thought about things from the previous Sunday, Saturday, Sunday to basically now. I think it'll be a better idea. So anyway, I've written down bullet points so I don't go off topic here. So anyway, it's first part is like Saturday to Sunday, which is like spending time with the family and just like just doing stuff with them, which I really enjoyed. What did we do? We went for something to eat. I had some coffee. We went for a little walk. And it was just general, just spending time just with Tori and Pedro, and it was just really nice just to spend time with them too. It was really nice. Then on the Sunday morning before we went to the airport, I went to the car boot sale and bought a few things which you'll see in another video. Then after I bought some stuff at the car boot sale, it was a nice experience, but it was like nice and quiet last week. So yeah, and then I came back home, got my final bits packed. Then we went in the car. We dropped Tori off because she was staying with somebody for a few days. Then we went to the airport. We left the car at the airport, which I would highly recommend. If you're going for a short break, I'd leave the car at the airport. We went to the airport. We only had one suitcase, so it wasn't too bad. So we checked the suitcase. Went on the flight. Yeah, you put when you're in or whatever airport, you just put your big suitcase on the conveyor belt and then it gets tied and it goes around, so it goes on the plane. Then we were fast tracked, so we jump. Basically, it's like a legal way of jumping the queue. So you're in front of other people that are waiting normally for the security. So we went through. Everything was near enough perfect. Then we went through duty free. Went to find somewhere to sit. Then I went to Starbucks, got my coffee. I got 2 coffees, cake, and it comes to about £3.50 because I had points on my Starbucks card, which was really, really good. Then I went to Boots. I spent about 15 quid in Boots for sandwiches and that for the first night, because that's what we always do. Because with plain food being very expensive, what we do, we go to Boots and we get meal deals. But luckily on this day, everything was 50p a sandwich and 50p for fruit and stuff like that. And because of me with my vinegar allergy, I have to have the kids' ham sandwiches. It sounds cliche, but that's all I can have, and fruit. So, and then drinks and other bits. So we got all the stuff, come to £15. Then we sat down. Then our gate number come, and it was, you thinking it's normally upstairs. We had to go all the way downstairs and round and round and round, and all these people are queuing for the other. And I said to this lady, even though Pedro thought I was in the wrong, all these people in front of me were for the other queue, and I said, excuse me, are you for the other queue? And she went, yeah, why? And I said, well, I'm priority. And she said, and she went like this, moved out the way, and she went, right, you go. I went, Petra, come on, she's telling us to go. So we walked around, goes through to priority, and we like basically get on the plane first. So like we get on plane first, board my flight. I've done like a little vlog on it, because I've never actually done a vlog of like, oh, we're going on this plane, and it was a bit crazy. Get up the stairs, get onto our seats. We sit down, and like seatbelt on, and I forgot the boiled sweets, as you do, because your ears pop. My ear popped anyway. So we had, it wasn't bad taking off, but I have had, because I fly quite a few times. It's a long, I like flying, I like travelling. But when we landed in Faro Airport, that was one of the worst landings I've ever felt in my life. It shuddered. It usually, when a plane lands, it's not, sometimes it's smooth, but this was like, doo, boom. I was like, ah. Sorry, that hit my shoulder then when I done that. But that was like sort of what it was. It was like ding, ding, doom. I was like, oh shit. And everyone was like, so that's one of the worst landings we've ever had. And me and Pedro obviously agreed. We then got our bags, and we had to come out, go round and round, and there was the transfers waiting for me. And the fella was like, hey, are you such and such? I went, that's me there, because we booked the holiday under me, because it was easier. And then the guy went, right, you come with me. And then we explained the situation, because what had happened was Pedro forgot my bank card. And I'll explain a little bit more about that. So anyway, we got picked up by the transfers, and he said to me, how long do you think it's going to get to the hotel? You know, like a rough guess. I said, oh, it's about 10. I was told about 10-15 minutes. He said, you'll be there in 5. I went, what? He went, you will be there in 5 minutes. And to be honest, it was so quick and nearby to the airport that the hotel was. So anyway, we arrived at the hotel either, and I explained the situation, and they said this, and they were so patient and understanding with me. It took me about a little bit, a little bit of time to get things sorted out, and of course I got stuff sorted out with my friend Sam from Sam's Beauties, because I usually do order some stuff and I pay with bank transfer, so it's all good. And she sent the money back to Pedro, and then we eventually got into the room, and I will tell you something now, that room was absolutely beautiful. It was a bit compact, but we had a shower, we had somewhere to wash, toilets flushed. We got to the room, beds weren't too bad. Had a little fridge, not fish, fridge. You could order from minibar, we had room service, we had a telly, so Pedro was happy. And then you'd open the balcony, you had a decent sized balcony with like 2 chairs, table, you could sit there, have something to eat, snack, whatever. Outside on the balcony, harbourfront. Literally, you were right there, you could see all the boats, the sea, the lots. And from your room itself, I didn't know this until about the second day. I was like, what's that noise? The planes were coming past. when the planes land at Faro Airport, they go past the Hotel Eva, and you can see them near enough landing at the airport. I was like, wow, this. I literally said to myself, if somebody was here for a plane spotting holiday and they wanted to stay in the Hotel Eva, they get their view of the plane spotting right there. I was buzzing. I just couldn't believe it. The rating of the hotel was second to none. I mean, it was one of the nicest hotels I've ever been to in my life. I mean, you can wake up every single morning, because we had bed and breakfast, and you could have literally champagne breakfast. You could have orange juice. There was 3 different types of water. I like my herbal tea. I like to do in my yucca spas. They do coffee. Their brand of coffee is from Delta. It's called Delta Coffee. They do like espresso and everything like that. You had about 7, 8 different pieces of fruit, all freshly cut. You had cheeses, you had hams, you had pastries, you had breads, you had cereals, you had yogurt. You could do granola and yogurt with fruit on top. What else? Yeah, you can do cereals. You have the hot options. Now, I wasn't real fan of the bacon and sausages. Some people might do, because it's like streaky bacon. And the sausages were like really tiny. They had beans. I can't obviously have beans. Mushrooms were lovely. The best fit, and the tomatoes weren't too bad because they were grilled tomatoes. But the best thing about the breakfast for me, besides the food, the champagne breakfast, the different waters, juices, everything, was the scrambled eggs. Because you could have fried eggs as well and boiled eggs. Them scrambled eggs were absolutely amazing. I don't know what he put in it. I just asked the waiter, what did they put in the scrambled egg? And he went into the secret recipe. I said, did they put vinegar in? And he went, no. So yeah, and I mean, like, from like the breakfast to the rooftop pool, to they had a barber's, hairdressers, they had a gym, a sauna, a spa. What else did they have? Rooftop bar. Even the reception was absolutely amazing. You had room service. If you want to go on trips, you could book it through them. They had the concierge service, where like a bellboy service, where they can come up to your room and collect your luggage and bring it down. They had the bar and as you come in the hotel, turn right. Like, and then like local amenities. You come out the hotel. You turn right, literally you see the harbour of the morning. You can see all the fish. You can just sit there and relax and watch the fish. I done that for about half an hour and it was absolutely breathtaking. The bus stations are literally a 2-minute walk from the hotel. It's literally round the corner on your left, past a cash machine, and then on the buses. If you want the Eva buses, they start from about €4, and they can take you to Lisbon, anywhere, like Seville, wherever. If you want the little buses that commute just round Faro and little bits outside, at €1.10. I mean, they do collect commute buses like for Villamora, Albufeira. The Albufeira one's €1.40. You can go wherever you want in like the little bit of Albufeira. What else? What else is there to do? There's quite a few trips you can go to. You can go on minibus trips, which was like €30, and you can go like 3 different places. Well, that's what we done. You can go around the Rio Famosa, which is like a boat trip to see all around the salt marshes and all the animals because they're protected. You could go on segways, bikes. You can go to Slide and Splash, which is near Albufeira. We didn't do that. I wanted to do that, but we didn't have time. They also had the Forum Algarve, which is one of the biggest shopping centre in Faro. I mean, it was huge. I didn't find out till the last day that they actually had a cinema there, so I could have went and watched the film. Like, pissed off for a few hours and watched the film. I mean, the clothing there, I think we must have hit it at the right time, like going there, because it was sales, 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 sales galore. Sales on clothing, sales on electronics, sales on bedding, curtains. What else? Garden furniture. There was offers on foods. I mean, kids' clothing you would want for nothing. It was so cheap. As you see it in the hauls, I bought already quite a few bits of stuff for when, hopefully, fingers crossed, we all go away in August. But I'm not going to reveal more about that until it's done. I mean, like clothing and stuff like that. If you want a cup of coffee, they start from about 80 cents. So if you like your coffee, Faro is the place to go because it has the best coffee tastes in the world. We had a McDonald's across the road. If you went to the Forum Algarve, there was a KFC. You had the Burger King. You had all the restaurants there. But if you wanted something local, you had near enough different types. You had Italian, you had steakhouses, you had Mexican. I love Mexican. You had traditional Portuguese food, which I didn't get a chance to try, but I did get to try a bean Mexican sauce, which you will see on the vlogs. So at least I did get to try something new. I tried cod in a pepper sauce from Farron Steakhouse. I mean, and I didn't realise till like the third day when I got there, the Faro itself, where we stayed, had a massive array of shops and they were sailed up galore. They didn't have, in Faro itself, they didn't really have many like souvenir shops. I think there might have been 4 or 5 in the whole town of Faro, but everywhere you went, within a couple of, like, 2 minutes of each other, there was pharmacies. So if anything were to go wrong, the pharmacies are there, right? But the only thing about the pharmacies, they shut at 6 o'clock at night. So there would be no chance of getting like a late pharmacy unless you go to the hospital. Also, as well, the mini marts that I found, there was only few. The nearest supermarket you had to go to was either the Forum Algarve or on the number 1 bus, Secuto number 1, Secuto 1. There was a Continente supermarket and they were open till pretty late. So if you wanted something after 6 o'clock at night in Faro, you would be no chance. You would have to get the bus to the supermarket. That was the only disadvantage. They had health shops galore if you like on a health kick. It was so ideal. Even in the Forum Algarve, there must have been about 7 different health shops. Faro itself, they had quite a few. On down the road from our hotel, on the corner, there was a shop that done frozen frozen yogurt, smoothies, fresh orange juice, crepes, sandwiches, toasties, very cheap. I went to a Pink Hot across the road. I told you about it in the vlogs. I had a crepe there, and their coffee is amazing. As I keep on saying, the coffee's amazing. I mean, the food was second to none. Like, I found that some of the food wasn't too expensive, but some foods were. Like, an average food for myself and Pedro with drinks and pudding is about €40. We paid a little less than that, so I think it's a little bit cheaper that way. What else? Oh yeah, don't get a taxi in Faro. It'll cost you a fortune. It's a bit like Malta. It will cost you a fortune if you want to go everywhere. Go on either a bus or the freewheeler, like cars. I never got to experience that. I would have loved to experience that. And then they done the train for like €2.50, and you can show you all around Faro. Albufeira itself was shit. If you like to be like near the beach or the coastline, whatever, and nightclub stuff like that, Albufeira is the place to go. It's not for me. I was there an hour and I really wanted to come back. I just did not like the place. It wasn't ideal for me. Maybe it's ideal for other people, but it wasn't ideal for me. I'm used to like the coffee culture and stuff like that. But that's my thought of Albufeira. As soon as I got there, we got lost. Managed to get somewhere else. Took one look at the place, didn't like it. Well, we looked around a bit, didn't like it. And then we got on the bus about 5:30. Just didn't really like it. The food, as I've mentioned before, the food was absolutely excellent. Like, as you guys know me, if I go to a restaurant the same day, twice on the run, or like a week later, whatever, then I know I've enjoyed the food that much, I've gone back to it. But I've never in my life gone to a restaurant twice in the same day. And that's what I've done with Taco y Tequila. And I've tried a mojito before, but it was a non-alcoholic mojito. One that had full-blown alcohol in it. That was mind-blowing. I have picture of it. I even done a vlog going, "This mojito's amazing." You'll see it on the Portugal vlogs. And like the food was really nice. The only food I didn't really like was the pizza, I'll be honest. And I'm not really a McDonald's person. I only like the drinks out of McDonald's. So there you go. The transports of the trip that we went to, absolutely brilliant. That's why when I wanted to do this vlog for Portugal, I wanted to do something different. And I said to myself, if we had like a guide, I wanted to not really say much and just let her take over. So that's what I sort of done. I let her take over because she knows Faro and surrounding areas better than I do. So I wanted her to give you the local knowledge of Ohaul and Estoy at Old Town Faro. Let her do it. Her name is Sandra, and she was absolutely brilliant. The company's called Algarve Tours. I'm not sponsored by Algarve Tours to talk about it or done the vlog with her in it. I was never ever sponsored. So just so I get that out there, I just booked the tour and I said I've said this, it was on the vlogs. I said, look, I do vlogs. I said, if you want your voice to talk about things, you can do. If you're not comfortable with it, then you don't have to. She said, I'm totally fine. I don't mind being on camera. She already said, she said, if you want to film me, film me. If you don't, you don't. So we've done it that way. So yeah, if you are in Faro and you're staying for a few days, I would do the Algarve tours trips so you can get the better sides of Faro and that, and like, yeah, and as I spoke about like the bus transport, I went on the little bus that many times. You wouldn't think I was a tourist. It was just so cheap, economical, and you always had like your own seat. And what you'd always have to do though is don't sit at the front, because that's for like the older generation and like pregnant women. They're specially seats for them. And what I've always noticed is you don't go on the bus first. Let them go on the bus, because that's respect. And that's what I always done. I even said to Peter, let them go on first and we'll go on afterwards. And that's what we done. Leaving the hotel, it was sad leaving the hotel, but I enjoyed my time that much that I did want to come back home. At first, we had a knock on the door about 12 o'clock. They said, oh, you need to get out now. And I said, well, no, I booked till 6 o'clock because I booked the late room. So she checked and she went, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you had to leave now. I went, no, we're not leaving till just after 6. I mean, I had a pleasure in staying in that hotel, and there's not a lot of times where I enjoy staying in a hotel where the staff have been so friendly, so helpful. And as I've said in previous vlogs, it doesn't matter what disability you have, they will help you out no matter what. It doesn't matter whether you've got children with you, if you've got disabilities, whatever. They are very patient and they take you the time with you, and they do speak English, so that's a plus. So you speak English to them and they'll speak English back to you. And then I got the transfer back to Faro Airport. Now this is where the fun begins. And I know we're 28 minutes in, but here we go. The Faro Airport experience. We had to go, because it's under renovations, it's totally chaotic. We had to walk about 5 minutes to check the suitcase in. I was spot on with the weights. Then we had to go through round and then up. And then we were fast tracked, so we got through. And then showed ticket again, fast tracked through again. Through the ticket again, fast tracked through again. Then we got to the point where it's like the security, right? And like there was nobody there to say. It was so disorganised, this train. There was people that was in the normal side that was pushing in against us. And we're explaining, look, we're fast track. And they go, we don't give a shit. That's what they said. We don't give a shit. I go, well, if you fast track, you go before anybody else. It doesn't matter if you got kids, whatever. We're fast track, we go before you. And they just didn't care. So in the end, I just went behind this woman. I said, look, I'm fast track. The woman understood. And I said, come on, Pedro. Put our stuff on. Went through. And then we had to go round one place, then round somewhere else, then through duty free. Then that's where all the Costa Coffee and that is. Had a Costa Coffee. And then you have to go through passport control. So I don't know whether they're going to be doing this with all airports, because I know they do it with Malta before you go to your gate. Yeah, so passport control. Then we had to go around, up, down, around, up, down, around the corner. When we're in this queue, then we're explaining to people, look, we're priority. And this one said, no, you fucking not like that. And I said, yes, I am. I said, look, what's that say there? Oh, it's crazy. I said, just because you're on over doesn't mean you want to pay the... oh, it was crazy, I tell you. Then we went to go round one part of the queue, priority. Then we went through. Then we were in another queue. And then we had to go round again. It was absolutely the worst Faro airport experience I have ever had in my life. Then got through, managed to get on the plane. I thought we weren't going to get our car back. It was absolutely mental. So obviously we left Faro, arrived in Liverpool, got the badge as normal, walked back to the car, come out, and the journey home was great. I ended up going to Asda for a couple of bits, but didn't need them. And then had a rest to recover from Portugal. Then Tori came back, showed her all the presents. She was over the moon with her stuff, and I mean over the moon. And then the day after, I had an ultrasound on my shoulder. They found something in my shoulder. They gave me a steroid injection, and I'm in literally agony. So it brings me up to today. Now I'm just sitting here relaxing, waiting for Pedro to come back so he can take me for a little walk somewhere so I can get out of the house. So basically, that is my thoughts over the things over the past few weeks. I know it's a long one, but that's what happens. I hope you've enjoyed this. Stay gaudy, have unpleasant dreams, and I will see you soon. Ta-ta for now. Bye.